Warm welcome to this particular session. I'm very excited for this. My name is ravi.jagarlapudi, and I'm from Stillpoint Transitions. I'm the co-founder for Stillpoint Transitions, founder CIPT, and also a podcast host for the Monday Morning podcast. Now, over the past year, we've seen across the world over 2,000 companies have announced mass layoffs, primarily impacting the tech sector we all know. Now, this alone has cut more than 97,500 roles across 425 firms in 2025 alone. Now, in the United States, major tech giants like Microsoft, Intel, and Amazon have slashed upwards of 75,000 plus jobs. Microsoft alone trimming over 15,000 roles in its latest round. Even federal agencies, I gather, have got rather let go of nearly 128,000 civil servant positions as such. Now, India, nearly 76,000 tech jobs have been lost in just the first half of the year, with startups accounting for an additional 3,600 layoffs. Over in Singapore, unemployment has risen from 1.9% to 2%, with 3,590 retrenchments already reported in Q1 2025. Europe, too, is facing a wave of reductions as automation and restructuring drive widespread professional exits. Now, these aren't just statistics, right? They are signals, and leadership transitions are no longer rare. They're happening everywhere and to everyone. Now, this is where we step in. Stillpoint Transitions isn't just a program, it's a rite of passage. Now, in a world that pushes people out fast, we ask a question. Can we help them pause meaningfully? Now, whether you are a leader in limbo or a CHRO seeking a dignified exit solution, Stillpoint offers reflection, renewal, and reinvention. We don't just ask what's next, we help answer who am I now. Now, welcome to Stillpoint. It's where leadership finds its way forward with grace. Now, why exactly this matters? It matters a lot. I'll give my personal example way back in 2012 when I exited a particular company. I had maybe a 15-minute kind of exit interview with the HR folks, and my leaders also joining, uh, and then started a phase which was very difficult to manage. Uh, if you really look at it, uh, one of the things which happens to any kind of employee at any level as such is a sense of identity is lost. I was working in that company for 10 years, and for 72 months or so, every day I go for work. I know there's a 15-day kind of holiday per year. Even during weekends, but even when I'm not going to office as such, I associate myself, my identity is so much so closer to the brand that I work with. So very proudly, I used to say that I, work with such and such company, and that identity actually gets fixed over a period of time, and 10 years is really a long time, 120 months rather. uh, so there's a lot of a pain because suddenly you're disassociated for a business reason. I mean, they did tell, and that's what everyone actually says now, the employers, that it's not because of performance, it's basically because of business reason. Now, if you really look at it, that's been the season across the board, right from 2012 onwards. And even before that, layoffs have been happening. But I think post COVID uh, and the emergence of new tech, these exits happen. Now, I did not have a Stillpoint Transitions team to actually help me navigate this particular phase. And that is the exact reason as to why, with the help of my my other co-founders, senior leaders, and friends who actually gave me a lot of inputs, we're actually coming up with this particular uh, program. Now, what we actually offer leaders grace and not just severance. We build alumni goodwill with authentic offboarding, and we help leaders rediscover who they are, not just what's next. So again, the thought process basically is that having been associated with one particular corporate or couple of corporates, and when layoffs actually happen, when the transition actually happens, the identity that we actually have is so associated with the brand that we work, and it becomes difficult to take the person out of the brand as such. So that is where we come in. Emotional safety in terms of we provide a trusted space where everything else falls silent. So we actually sit and just listen. So the initiative essence is that we support professional reinvention at life's inflection points. And the vision is that we pause with purpose to enable graceful redesign. Now, in terms of core audience, we're looking at design for vice presidents, directors, and CXOs navigating change. And it's actually ideal for CHROs offering more than transactional exits from an org sponsorship standpoint. Now, in terms of the program architecture, we are branding it as a leadership transition studio. So there are four offerings that we have. First one is LTS. So LTS stands for Leadership Transition Studio. So LTS mentoring, which is a 3-month journey blending one-to-one mentoring and peer learning. So we do a one-to-one inquiry where we deeply reflect with seasoned mentors. We have peer circles where safe, curated groups for insight and solidarity, completely in confidence. Now, the second offering is a LTS retreat, where immersive offsites rooted in story, silence, and symbolism. So, where we look at the hero's journey, the leaders recast the narrative using mythical frameworks, reflect and reset. So, detox from old roles, reconnect with inner compass. The third offering we have is LTS circles, where it's a monthly peer conversation normalization transition as such, where we provide safe dialogues, no judgment, just presence and listening. And we do have group mentoring, where collective wisdom through real case explorations happens. Now, LTS Pulse, where content layer with real stories, essays, and podcasts are provided. So we do real reflections, transitions captured through lived experiences, and providing an emotional anchor, a support for solitary moments of reflection. We also provide a navigator toolkit. So CHROs get structured guides to lead exit and alumni conversations. We provide ritual playbooks designed to honor endings and beginnings with dignity, and also CHRO support where we help your HR team lead transitions that actually matter. Now, in terms of the emotional language and personas rather, the language that names what people feel but can't always express. Still point moment is the inner pause before the next clarity. The thing is, what I found as a lack in the entire system of the corporate is the fact that we give encouragement to uh, entry point employees who started working with us 25, 30 years ago, and they put their blood and soul into the company. They skill, reskill, uh, and they actually start a family. If you look at a young employee coming into the company, and the entire identity is basically the company for them. And if you look at it, 5 days in a week, they actually are there with the company. So 18 to 5, 40 hours, and it is not 8 hours, it is going to 14 hours, 16 hours late. So they are 80 to 100 hours they actually spend per week, and just calculate that per month and per year, and a span of around 20 years. So much of time and emotion and intellect they actually invest in a particular corporate and corporate strategy, right? And suddenly there is a transition, uh, and this particular aspect, if not dealt really scientifically and with a senior mentor as such, uh, would actually lead to a lot of pain. So that is where we come in. We actually provide you senior mentors who actually sit and listen and provide you with a kind of a direction which you need to think through. In one of the podcasts, one of the senior leaders was talking about the inner stories that we need to tell ourselves, right? We always need to come up with good narratives for any kind of situations we have to face. Now, those are the ones which need to be inspiration for us and not depressive. And in these times, when there's a job loss, a transition point as such, an inflection point, as they say, uh, even there you actually need uh, really good inner talk. Now, that is where the senior leaders come in to mentor. And invisible losses, there's a grief over identity and not just employment, something which we actually spoke about. Uh, we also provide, personal persona profiles, examples from tech, pharma, BFSI, and each journey is actually unique. Now, these coming to the pricing and entry models, it is a tiered pricing accessible models for both org sponsored and individual clients. Uh, Again, for Indian global brands, we have a light program and we have got an executive program. And all of this will be shared in a deck later on. We also have a deferred payment pricing where pay when placed model for those between roles. This is basically for individual clients as such. Now, in terms of the subject matter expertise ecosystem, and we have curated guides from diverse disciplines. We have futurists who can actually help you, plan your future, not just the next role as such. Because if you really look at this span of leaders, they have worked for 30, 30 to 35 years in most cases, very well settled. All the real estates are properly planned. Uh, but they're not looking for jobs. If you look at it, they're basically looking for engagement because they've got a lot of time. So that is where futurists come into place. They actually sit and help you plan. We also have psychologists who can actually help in case we need. We have legal experts to actually look at your finance part of it. We also have spiritual mentors across various spiritual organizations part of it. So if you look at it, it is a curated set of guides across diverse disciplines. Now, what we have offer as a strategic model is business to business B2B, where we partner with CHROs to design graceful exit experiences. That's number one. We also have B2C journey, where self-funded paths for reflection, healing, and redesign. And typical revenue streams are from mentoring, retreats, toolkits, and workshops. Now, in terms of the outcome metrics, from an impact and growth standpoint, we're looking at identity clarity, emotional readiness, and post-exit renewal metrics. And from a growth roadmap standpoint, we are looking at onboarding faculty, toolkit pilots, and corporate partnerships as such. Now, Stillpoint isn't just a program; it's a rite of passage. We say, in a world that pushes people out fast, we ask a question: can we help them pause meaningfully? Now, whether you're a leader in limbo or a CHRO seeking a dignified exit solution, Stillpoint offers reflection, renewal, and reinvention. We don't just ask what's next, we help answer who am I now? Now, welcome to Stillpoint. It's where leadership finds its way forward with grace. Thank you so much.